Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. Today we're looking at, are you on the right career path? Are you in the right career? Are you doing the right job for you? Are you following your destiny maybe? Maybe there's something here that you are questioning when it comes to your career and your job. And so this reading will hopefully help you answer that question of, stay where you are or make a change in some way. So I've got 3 readings for you. These cards were in the readings. Don't worry about that or what it means necessarily. But see which one is pulling at you, which one calls to you in some way. So group 1, your card is the Page of Pentacles. And I'll hold that there so you can get a good look. Page of Pentacles. Group 2, your card is the Queen of Cups. And group 3, your card is the King of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so all you have to do now is go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for the reading you want to watch, and it will take you straight there. Okay, thanks y'all. Hey, group 1. All right, we're going to take a look today at whether or not you're on the right path as far as your career goes. So your initial card is the Page of Pentacles. So give me just a second. I just want to see what messages come through on this card, and then we'll jump into your reading. 1 second. Okay, the first message I'm getting is that you have a choice to make. You do. And that may be why you're here. Maybe you're wondering, do I stay on the path I've been on, that you've been following, or choose this other path? Because I am getting that you have options here, at least one other option. If you don't feel it in your reality, if you don't know it in your reality, it's at least on your mind, right? There's something else you've been wondering, should I be doing this or that, essentially, is what they're giving me. And they're telling me this is a big choice for you. So for those of you, if this is your reading, I do feel strongly that this is a question about whether or not you should change your career, which is essentially what this reading is about. But this is a very real message for you because you're contemplating making a big career change, not just a job change, not just how you do, what you do, where you do it, but really overhauling your entire path altogether. So it's not a small thing at all, and you do have a choice to make. 1 sec, see if there's anything else they want to say. Of course, Spirit is going to help you. They're telling me, but this is always true. They're not going to tell you what to do. They never do. Because we have free will. You're meant to make your own decisions. You're allowed to make your own decisions. You're encouraged to make your own decisions. They can't make those decisions for you. So they're never going to say you have to do this or you have to do that. And they're just wanting me to remind you of that. You do have a choice. They're going to help you see the decision as clearly as possible so that you can make an informed decision here. Okay. All right. I won't beat that to death. Let's get some more cards down and see what else tell you about your career path and whether you're on the right path or whether a big change, a complete change of direction is meant for you, is going to be beneficial for you. All right. Your first card is the Two of Wands. Then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Again, the Page of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Pentacles. And finally, we have the Queen of Wands reversed. It's interesting that you only have Pentacles and Wands in your reading. There's no cups, there's no swords. So this is very much a practical versus an inspired decision. I do feel like there needs to be some cup energy here, and I'm sure Spirit will get into it further, but I'm feeling this need for where is your heart in all of this? Where is your heart? Yes, inspiration is important. Yes, practicalities are important. Money is important. Your purpose is important, but where's the love, So kind of just ask that question for yourself. All right, give me just a sec. I just want to take these cards in and I'm going to listen to Spirit for some initial messages for you. And then we'll go card by card here, okay? So hold on one sec. Okay. The first thing they're telling me, this is just a practical thing for your particular reading. I don't know if all of them will go this way, but this is what they're telling me, is that the first two cards sort of represent like an option A, the second two, option B, because you are debating between two different scenarios. And I do feel strongly that you are on a career path. For some of you, maybe you're even, just either graduating from college or will be, and you're starting to second guess whether this is the career you want. But for others of you, of course, you're already in the career world, you're already following a path, but you're no longer loving what you do. There's something about it that has you thinking, maybe I should do something else. I feel for some of you, it's really just a question of money. Like, I could make more money if I move into this path. If I change careers, if I do something else. Maybe you've been a bit discouraged by the progress you've made with where you are and what you're doing. Others of you, it feels like you have lost, it's like you've lost your motivation, you've lost your drive, you've lost your inspiration for whatever career you're on, and you're feeling kind of pulled towards something else. But does feel like there's a risk involved here. And I'm hearing it's no small risk. So you already know that, I'm sure. Changing careers can set us back time-wise, or it can feel like it's setting us back time-wise because you're going back to being a beginner at something. But what Spirit's telling me is that it's not going to set you back. If you were to make this change, it's not going to set you back, at least not for long. Yes, you would have to go back to being a beginner, entry level in some way, but it won't last. If you decide to make this change, you'll quickly progress. Okay. But again, they're coming through. Make sure you're going to love it. And it's bringing back this message that there's no cups here, right? There's no emotion. And emotion mixed with the wand energy, that fire, that inspiration energy, it's like fire and water create this explosion of steam, right? And it's a powerful force. It's this combining of energies, and that's what they're giving me. It's this combining of energies that propels you forward. Without the love, inspiration can quickly fade. Without inspiration, sometimes the love can fade, right? Sometimes the desire for something can fade. What you think you love, without that fire to go after it, can end up just being kind of a wish, a dream that never really manifests. So you do sort of need both, but we're not seeing any of that here. So you are being asked to, they're saying, ask yourself what it is you love about what you do now. And what is it that you love about this secondary career, this different career you're wanting to follow. And they're saying there has to be something in both. Maybe there's nothing you love about what you're doing now, in which case this should be an easy decision. There's nothing you love about it. But they are giving me that there is something. There should be something you love about it, even if it's something very, very small. And there definitely should be something about the new career, this new path, that you love. If it's just strictly a practical decision, if it's just about money, the passion won't last. The desire won't last. Okay. Money's important. I know it's not everything. Okay. All right. So let's jump into the cards. Oops. Okay. Your first card is the Two of Wands. You're telling me you have something now in some way. For those of you that are still like in college and university, and you have your path laying ahead of you, you still have something in hand, in a sense. For the rest of you, you're on a career path. You have a job. You have an industry you work in. You have a role that you do. You have something in hand, is what they're giving me. But there's something in the back of your mind, just as this wand here is behind him. There's something in the back of his mind that has been pushing its way further and further forward. There's something in the back of your mind that has been pushing its way into your consciousness, and you're wondering, should I make a change? Should I go from example? I'm just going to give you the example they're giving me because maybe it will resonate with some of you. Should I change from nursing, medical, whatever it is, in the medical field? Should I change from that to something more social related? Whether that would be a social worker, could be psychologist, psychiatrist, something more related to emotions and people rather than the physical body, nursing kind of thing. That's what they're showing me. For somebody out there, that will make sense. But you know what I mean. Changing careers, which would involve going back to school for many of you. It would involve new training, new experience, because your experience may or may not apply to this new path. But they're giving me both of these options are there. They both have potential. They both can be good for you. This one being the one in your hand, it would be easy to continue forward on this path because you're already on it. And that just makes sense. But with the next card being the Page of Pentacles in reverse, you're feeling a lack here. There's something missing. They're saying you're not fully invested anymore. There's something that just no longer excites you. It no longer has you wanting to know more, do more. It's gotten boring for some of you. It's just plain old gotten boring. And there is this message here, at least for some of you, that you feel like there isn't enough money in it. There isn't enough money in it. You want to make more money. And that's a real consideration, right? Of course it is. The Spirit's saying you can make more doing what you're doing. But it would require you to push a little bit more. It would require you to gain some new knowledge, some new expertise within your field, and to push for that. There is the potential to make more money in what you're doing, even if you don't think there is, but it would require some work on your part. And you're not going to be willing to work for it if you're not inspired for it, right? If your heart's not in it. So again, they're bringing back the message of ask yourself what you love about this job and Compare it to what you love about this secondary option and really focus on that heart space, because right now it feels like it's not even a part of the equation. It's not enough of the equation here. All right. So then we have the Knight of Pentacles. And if you were to change, absolutely change jobs, change careers at this point, it would be slow going initially. You would be going after something new. You would be learning something new. You'd be pursuing something that I do feel you would want, of course, but it would be slow. And I think you already know that. And that may be where your biggest hesitation is. But there is this drive with the Knight of Pentacles where there's a part of him that says, I know it's slow, but I'm still making progress. There is reward, right? There is, like a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a knowing in you. And if there isn't a knowing in you, I'm going to tell you that if you pursue this, if this is something you love and want to do from the heart, this Knight of Pentacles will get you there, even if it does start out slowly. You will catch up. It's like this slow and steady wins the race sort of message of you'll just keep plodding along and moving forward in this new career until you get where you're meant to go, rather than, fast forwarding on something and then stalling out because you've lost interest, right? So your next card is the Queen of Wands reversed. So what Spirit is telling me as soon as I pick up this card is, but do you really want this? And this is, it's all, this is what I keep getting, is that it's all coming down to, where's your heart? If you're just going after the money and your heart's not in it, don't, don't kid yourself about it, because money will come when you are following your heart. And it will fade out when your heart isn't in it, because employers will recognize that, customers, clients will recognize it. They will see that you're not invested, that you're not in love with what you do. So are you on the right career path? That's the big question. Well, unfortunately, for those of you watching this group, the answer is, I don't know. It is something for you that you have to ask yourself, because it depends on where your heart is. How will you know if you're on the right career path? Do exactly what they said. Ask yourself what you love about where you are now, and what do you love about where you're heading. And if it comes down to money alone, it's not enough. Just take that advice. Money alone is not enough. You have to love the work. And if you love the work, no matter how slow the progress is, it will still get you further than if you don't love it. When you don't love it, you're not making progress. You stall out, you plateau, you even sometimes go backwards. And you'll continue to feel uncomfortable with where you are until you decide to make a change and to follow your heart. If you love what you're doing and it's just that you're not making enough money, then it's time to make a change within your career and not change careers. So it's not changing your path, it's broadening your path. It's making the path you're on bigger and more expansive by, getting some additional education, by learning something new, getting some new experiences under your belt. So that's really what it comes down for you, Group 1. So I hope that helps. I know it doesn't directly answer your question, but for you in particular, you're being asked to answer the question yourself with your heart. With your heart. But hopefully this gives you some information, kind of gives you that insight that maybe you needed to make up your own mind. All right, group one, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If the reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting. It will also help future readings to resonate for you more. And drop me a comment if you have any questions, if you just want to say hi. I love reading your comments. I really do. I'm grateful for them. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, group two. All right, today's reading is, are you on the right career path? So your initial card here, the Queen of Cups, will get us started. Give me just 1 second. I just want to see what messages come through with this card. Okay, the first thing that's coming through is Spirit's telling me that you do love what you do. You love the work you're doing, brings you a lot of joy and fulfillment. The question here is whether or not it's sustainable, whether or not it has some long-term viability, whether you can make enough money doing whatever it is you do. Or for some of you, what you're wanting to do. It's okay. I'm going to clarify so you guys know whether this is your reading or not. This is either something you're doing now full time, but you're wondering about the long-term potential, or it's something you're doing part-time, meaning you're doing it on the side. It's side work. It's a side job. It's maybe your own personal business that you're doing on the side of your full-time career. And you're wondering whether this side job is right for you to pursue full-time. So it's not something you're just dreaming about or wanting. You are doing it now. But you're wanting to know, can it last? Does it have the long-term potential to bring you success, to bring you the money you want and need, to bring you the abundance you want and need? Will it sustain you career-wise for the long term? Okay. So hopefully that at least helps you know whether this is your reading. Yeah. But Spirit is telling me that whatever this is, you do love it. It brings you a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, and you're wanting this to work out. You're wanting it to either be your full-time career if it's just part-time, or you're wanting it to be more expansive, more profitable, more successful than it is now, because you do love it and this is what you want. But maybe you're not seeing enough value coming through. You're not making enough money at it. For most of you, that would be the question. There may be other considerations as well. Okay, let's get some more tarot cards down. Let's find out if this is the right path for you, or if Spirit is nudging you to go in a different direction. Because I am getting, and I do believe this, if you are on the right path, it will bring you the abundance. It will bring you what you need. It will, even if it isn't yet. Even if you don't see how just yet. If it's not exactly right for you, you'll hit against, brick walls until you change direction. Really. Yes, it's always our choice, but some things are some things come to us from our higher selves, and our higher selves can be very insistent on what we want for ourselves. And if you look into your heart, you'll know it. You'll know it. But sometimes we need to know, yeah, but can it work? Will it work? So I totally get it. Okay. Your first card is the Tower reversed. Then we have the Ace of Swords. We have the King of Cups. And the Two of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. What the first thing Spirit's telling me before I even tap into the cards is they're wanting to acknowledge, and they did something similar in the first group too, so that's it's very telling. But they're wanting to acknowledge that there are a couple things missing from this reading. We're missing wands and we're missing pentacles. They're telling me that the pentacles are missing because there's part of you that hasn't quite made up your mind. And this lack of decision, and this is also okay, I'll stick to where I am. Hold on. They're giving me information but then telling me not to talk about it yet. Okay. The lack of pentacles is saying that you're not making the money you want to make. You're not able to visualize the future success that you're wanting because it's not tangible. It's not there for you yet. So very understandable why you're wondering, is this right for me? The lack of wands in your reading is where the question of they're saying, are you fully committed? Do you have the passion there? Are you ready? Hold on one sec. Oh, they're saying it's missing a little bit of drive, and that comes from the passion, that comes from the commitment. You're missing a little bit of the drive that will bring you the pentacles you need, the success you need. You have the love. You absolutely have the love for it. You have ideas. You have that mental inspiration. You have life knocking at the door saying, is this right or not right? I don't know. But are you ready to put forth the drive it takes? Are you motivated enough to bring about the success, the pentacles, the money, the abundance that you're wanting from this? They're going to get more into it as we get into the cards, but just some food for thought is what they're giving me. Just some food for thought. Do you have the drive to turn this into something as big as you want it to be? And it's not a question that can be answered by me or by Spirit or by the tarot cards. It can only be answered by you. You have to ask yourself, am I willing to do whatever it takes to get where I want to go with my dream, with my goal? Because there's no lack of love. Okay? All right, let me see if there's anything else they want to say before we jump into the cards. They're saying in order to move, going forward with this career path is going to take a certain degree of passion, of desire. Desire and passion won't get you to the finish line, but it will help you build some momentum. You do have some passion for this because you have the love for it. But they're giving me right now, it's kind of this simmering love. It's on low heat. And low heat will get you there, right? If you're cooking something on low heat and it's simmering, it will eventually, turn into something that you can eat. Weird analogy they're giving me. But do you have the patience to wait that long for something to come to fruition? They're really encouraging you to consider if you have the passion to push this forward, to get you the momentum you need to start seeing some progress. They're saying it's not that you need it. Again, it's not that you have to have it, But without it, these wonderful cups that are full of fulfillment and happiness and love and joy for what you do may start to run dry. Okay? And then if you have the passion and you're able to push forward and you're able to build up some momentum, the pentacles will show up. They just will. The money will come when there's a little bit of passion behind the love and the work. Okay. All right, so let's jump into the cards. Your first card is the Tower reversed. And let me see what they want to say about this. They're telling me that you're building something, but it hasn't, again, you haven't made enough progress. It hasn't quite gotten off the ground. Now you may have made a big change in your life to pursue this career path. Maybe you started your own business, started your own side job, side hustle. It does feel like you've made a big change in some way in order to pursue this thing that you love. But it hasn't quite gotten off the ground, no matter how long you've been doing it, how short or long you've been doing it, or how much you love it. They're saying it's still sitting there really at, ground floor or first floor. It's not a top, it's not a skyscraper yet. They're giving you a high rise, and that's okay. They would rather you do it slowly than not do it at all, or go so fast that the tower isn't built on a solid foundation and it crumbles. So they're not encouraging you to race forward, but Spirit would like to see you make some more progress, as would you, I'm sure. But they're saying it does require a little bit more effort, a little bit more passion, a little bit more desire to achieve. You may have lots of desire for the work. You may clearly you love what you do, but it's the passion that pushes you past the boundaries, pushes you upward and outward, pushes you to the next level where you can even surpass your own expectations and go beyond that. They're really giving me there's not enough passion here. There's not enough motivation and drive to achieve. It's less about doing the work and more about, the hustle, going after it. Okay? And they're saying only you can answer whether or not you have it in you to do what needs to be done. All right, so then we have the Ace of Swords. Give me just one second. They're saying you're full of ideas. You're full of ideas. You've got plenty of mental inspiration as far as the work you're doing goes. They're giving me a very creative energy, and that's not normally a sword energy, but they are giving me a very creative energy with you, where you have ideas, you have thoughts about what you want to do down the road, and part of you is planting those seeds within yourself. You're saying, okay, well, someday I will, for example, write a book. Someday I will teach, I will host seminars, I will have my own website, whatever it may be. And maybe some of those things are already true for you. They're just giving examples. You have the ideas, you're planting the seed. But again, they're talking about right now, the crown of success is still a little bit unreachable for you. You need that steam, that fire to propel you out of the water of happiness, of joy, of loving what you do. Past the sword energy of ideas and creativity, and you may even have lists of things you want to do with your business. But they're saying, ask yourself, why have you not done them? Why have you not done these things? The things that are on your list, the ideas that you have. And you may have very valid reasons why you haven't done them. But they're saying, consider whether your reasons are reasons why you haven't done them, or if they're excuses to not do them. Because there is a difference. Are you saying, I want to write a book, but someday, for example, but I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough to say yet. I don't have enough of a following yet to be successful with it. Is that a reason or is it an excuse? If it's something you want to do, start writing. If you don't want to start writing, ask yourself, is this something I really want to do or not? Do you have that hustle energy to pursue it? And if you don't, take it off your list. And if you get to the point where everything is coming off your list because you don't want to do any of it, then yeah, you're on the wrong path. You're on the wrong path. And that's just the truth. Okay? But hopefully that's not the case for you, because I do see you love this work. All right, so then we have the King of Cups. They're saying you're very secure in your energy for what you do, in that you don't have too many highs and lows where, one day you love what you do and the next day you hate what you do. You're very stable in that you genuinely like this work. It brings you some sort of happiness, some fulfillment, and it's actually good for you. They're giving me that whatever it is you do, and I would love to know, if you want to drop a comment, what is it that you do that you're pursuing, whether it's your full-time job or part-time. I would love to know. They're telling me it brings you some emotional stability when you're doing this work, when you're pursuing it. And it's very good for you. And in some way, it feels like, at least for many of you, it helps others as well. So that's a beautiful energy to be in. But again, they're saying you do need more than that to be as successful as you want to be. Now, you can continue to do it on the side because it makes you happy. And if you just, you make a few bob here and there, great. Then maybe it's not a full-time thing for you. If you're doing it full-time and you're not making enough money, but you're also not motivated to go full steam ahead and do the things that need to be done to move the needle as far as your work goes, they're really saying, consider whether this is something you should pursue, because it probably isn't. If you need the money, if you need this work to be successful in order to survive, but you don't have the drive and the push and the motivation to chase after, and that doesn't mean run full steam ahead, but it does mean to, put in the work every day, to be fully committed to not just what you're doing now, but to all the things you need to do that you've been putting off. If you don't have that, if you can't summon that energy, then you're not on the right path. Because it won't magically appear someday. You're not going to start getting successful and then you're going to feel more passionate about it. The passion comes first. The drive comes first. I mean, yes, you may see a little bits of success here and there, but if you're not all in, neither will the success be. The success won't be all in either, All right. So your last card here is the Two of Cups. They're saying that there's somebody in your life that can help you. There's somebody you need to listen to, because they may have ideas. They may or may not be in your industry. They may not do the work you're doing, or they might. But that's regardless. They're saying this is someone who wants you to be successful. Maybe they have a vested interest in you being successful. Maybe it's your partner or someone who wants to work with you, or someone who does work with you. Or maybe it's just someone who believes in you and wants you to be successful, but they have a desire for you to be successful, and I am getting that they have something to offer you ideas, some little bits of inspiration that could help you if you work with them. If you're willing to listen to them, if you're willing to give their ideas some thought, give them a chance, maybe collaborate with this person, possibly. They're saying this person could help reignite the fire here for you. You know, if you're thinking, I love this work, I want it to work out, I want to know what to do next, I want to have that passion and fire, but I'm feeling a bit stagnant, and that does happen. Spirit's telling me, have a conversation with this person, or lots of conversations with this person. Seek them out. If there's somebody who inspires you that you can get some time with, whether it's a mentorship or it's just, you know, can I pick your brain? But I do feel like this is someone in your life that cares about you. That's the truth. Someone who knows a thing or two about you and what you do and can offer some insight in their own way. There's something that they have to offer that could help you get past whatever stagnant energy might be holding you back right now. So give that some thought. If you don't know who this is, they're saying, look around. There's someone who loves you enough or cares about you enough or believes in you enough. You know, it might be a work person that believes in you and wants you to succeed. And you may not be giving their ideas enough credit because possibly they're not in the same place as you, you know. They may be doing something different. I don't know exactly. I do feel like this person is, their ideas are coming from like a place of, they don't do exactly what you do. And so it's easy to dismiss them and go, you know, it mentally, maybe you don't know what you're talking about. Or it's easy to come up with excuses for why their ideas can't work, won't work, need more time, do it later. But Spirit's saying, give their ideas, their concepts, their whatever they're telling you, give it a little bit more consideration, because it may get you past that point of, yes, I want this, but I can't quite seem to summon up the energy to get myself there. Okay? Sometimes we just have to allow ourselves to try. And if the ideas are coming from ourselves, you know, if these are ideas that you have, that you've written down, that you've been thinking about, it's time to start doing them. If an idea is coming from someone else, give them some real, genuine consideration. Write their ideas down as well. And start taking some action. Start going after some of these things. If you can't summon the energy to do any of these things, you're not on the right career path. You know, that's when your higher self is encouraging you, you know what, look around for the thing that does make you want to chase after it. And that's when you'll know. I do feel like for many of you, you are on the right path. You're just waffling a bit. You're talking yourself out of it when you should be talking yourself into it. Because you need to believe you can be successful. And Spirit is saying you will be successful if you go after it. But the success isn't going to come first. The hustle has to come first. All right, group 2, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you what you needed to know. If the reading resonated, if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Really, really helps me. It helps me know that our energies are connecting and that I'm not just doing readings in the wind. You know what I mean? It will also help future readings resonate with you more. So that helps you as well. Thank you so much for being here and have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. All right, today's reading, we're looking at whether or not you're on the right career path, right? So your initial card is the King of Pentacles. Give me just one sec. I just want to get some initial messages from this card so you'll know whether this is your reading or not. And then we'll get into the rest of the cards here. So hold on one sec, y'all. They're telling me that with the King of Pentacles, you feel successful in your career path, in your job, in your role. You've reached a certain level of success, of fulfillment, of recognition and reward, meaning you probably make good money. Maybe you're in an elevated role. You've got all the things that on paper, everybody wants, on paper. But they're giving me, you're having some doubts, you're having some questions. And it is a difficult question to ask yourself, should I make a change? Should I do something else? Because you are doing so well where you are. Maybe you're making really good money, or you're in, a job where there's potential, a lot of potential for growth. And I do feel like you've had experience, you've gotten up the ladder in some way. But they're giving me, you're not feeling quite fulfilled. And it might just be that you're a little bit bored, that you're not feeling challenged enough, that it's gotten a little bit too easy for some of you. For some of you, you just don't love it. And you're wanting to maybe do something different, but you're feeling the risk of it. The risk of walking away from everything that you've earned and built up and starting new, starting from scratch. So, that's not an easy place to be. It's not an easy question for a person to answer. I totally get it. Been there myself, so I do understand. But hopefully these cards and spirit will come through and give you the insight, the guidance that you need to know whether you should stay where you are or move on to something new. Okay. All right. Your first card is the Hermit reversed. The Death card. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed. And finally, the Queen of Swords. Now, they're wanting me to acknowledge right away that you've got two major arcana here, which does show this is a big decision for you. It could be a life-changing decision for you. And so, full acknowledgement here of how scary that can be. But they're saying recognize that there's something pulling you. Something is maybe irritating you in your current job. It's rubbing you the wrong way. It's making something doesn't feel quite right. And there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. We're going to get into, what is that reason and what does that mean for you? But they're wanting you to acknowledge, and of course, Spirit is acknowledging on their behalf that that there is something uncomfortable, even with all the wonderful trappings of a successful career. Something still doesn't feel quite right to you. So they're saying make peace with that. It's there for a reason. It's not just your imagination. And it does mean that something has to change. But let's find out what it is, okay? Let me just see if they have any other initial messages here before I jump into the cards. Okay, no, they're saying jump right in. So your first card is the Hermit reversed. It's a strong message here about not knowing what to do. It's what to expect where you are, even if you no longer love it, even if it no longer inspires you. And I do see here there's no cups, there's no wands here. There's a lack of inspiration and a lack of love. There's a lack of motivation with where you are now for some reason. Either you no longer love it, you no longer feel inspired, or you're just plain bored. Okay. But there's this darkness, and I don't mean that it's dark as in a bad place. I mean darkness as in you can't see. There's this darkness when you look toward a new path, a new career, because you don't know if it's going to work. Maybe there's something you have in mind. Maybe there isn't. Maybe you just know something has to change, but you don't know what. But there is this lack of insight, this lack of either knowing what to do or just whether or not it's right for you. And part of it is because if you make this change, you will no longer be the experienced one. You'll no longer be the one with all the success, at your back or in your lap even. There's this feeling of, being a newbie again, being brand new at something, but Spirit's telling me you're not brand new. No matter what direction you take, if you were to make a change and you're worried that you'd be starting from scratch, you're still starting from experience, because the experience you have, believe it or not, will still aid you on a new career path if you choose to make a change. You still have the Hermit card, which is a card of experience, of knowledge, of being able to find your own way and shine your light on your path and move forward because you know what you're doing. Now it's in reverse. So there is this lack of knowledge, right? Lack of knowing, lack of being able to see forward. But they're saying this can be turned around. You're not starting from nothing. You're starting from experience and you're just moving, or you would be moving, in a direction that brings you a little bit more joy, possibly. Okay? So keep that in mind when you have doubts about, if there's something you're wanting to, it really feels like a big change if you're changing careers and starting to over with something that you have maybe relatively little experience in. The experience you have in whatever it is you do will still help you in some way, okay? Even if it's in ways you don't realize yet. All right, so then we have the Death card. They're saying change is absolutely necessary at this point. You're no longer happy where you are with what you're doing. It's not comfortable for you in some way. And they're saying you either have to change your attitude about what you're doing. In other words, maybe it's just gotten a bit stagnant and stale. And you need to remind yourself what you love about what you do, or something needs an overhaul. Let me just listen for 1 sec. I feel it telling me something. They're encouraging you to make peace with change. They're encouraging you to worry less about what you have earned up till now. Be grateful for the success you've had, for the growth that you've experienced. It will help you in the future in some way. They're encouraging you to make peace with change. Change is knocking on your door. It's irritating you. There's something that is irritating you that feels uncomfortable because you're meant to, pull your head up. It's like you're looking down and you're focused on what you're doing. The happiness isn't there, the joy isn't there, and you're being encouraged to look up, look around. What else is out there? You can find something that you love, even if it means going backwards as far as the success ladder goes, but it's not really going backwards. Just trying something new. They're asking you to forget about everything that you have sitting in your lap right now, because it will make you doubt the change that really needs to happen in some way. Now, it may mean for you that it's just changing jobs. Maybe you're just working for the wrong company. They're wearing you out. Yeah, they're paying you a lot of money. You maybe have had, a lot of success with them. Maybe there's a lot of potential there. But if you're miserable, you're not in the right place. And they're reminding me to say to you, don't run away from what you don't like there. Rather, make peace with the idea that change, number one, is inevitable, and that change is good for you. Yes, appreciate what you have, but then try to kind of put it aside. Because if you focus too much on, well, I'll never make as much money as I'm making now doing something else, or, how many years am I going to be climbing up the ladder again? Am I throwing everything away? They're saying, put all that aside. Put all that aside. Those are questions you don't need to be asking yourself. Because a career change can skyrocket very quickly, even if you feel like you're starting from nothing. When you're inspired and you're motivated and you love what you do, instead of just loving what you get from what you do, you can make progress very, very quickly. But change is inevitable in some way. And I do feel strongly that for some of you, it does mean changing career path. Doing something completely different. At the very least, I feel many of you need to shake up what you do, whether that means changing companies, changing jobs, staying in your industry, staying with what you do, but changing where you do it, even if it means less money initially. But I feel strongly for most of you that this is a bigger change than that is kind of knocking at your door. So you're just being asked to listen, listen to your heart. Ask yourself, can I make peace with this change and with how it will look initially? Because then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed, and there is an element of letting go. A change, they're giving me strongly for you, group 3, that a change will involve, will involve in some way letting go of what you have in order to create something new. But the tighter you hold on to what you have, the more and more you're going to feel restricted. You're going to feel trapped, and maybe you already do. You're going to feel stuck. Release the idea that you have to immediately jump into a new career and make the same money or have the same success, because it's not likely, not immediately. But what will it bring you instead? Is there a risk to it? Sure there is. Letting go of what you have in order to open up the space for something new to come in is scary. There's a risk involved. But it doesn't mean that it's not rewarding. It doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. And again, the message you're giving over and over again is make peace with the change. Let go of what you think you have to have in order to make the change. And I'm not saying, look, if you don't have any money in the bank, it's not the time to quit your job and not have anywhere to go or anything else to do. Yes, you do have to be prudent, and they're not encouraging you to do anything different than that. what they're encouraging you to consider is, if you think a change would make you happy, don't stay so attached to what you have now. Because in order to make a change, you have to embrace change in all the ways that it shows up. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Give me just 1 second. I want to hear, I get some initial messages, but I want to hear what they want to say. They're saying here with the Queen of Swords that a change will involve you making a cut. It may literally mean, leaving your job, making less money, having less success initially, but doing it from a place of knowledge. If you notice, her head is above the clouds. She knows more than it may appear. There's a knowing here that yes, she's making a cut. Yes, she's making a difficult decision. Yes, she's making a change. But it's with the idea that this change in the long run will be the right decision. So Spirit's not coming in today and saying, you're on the wrong path, you need to make a change. Not exactly. They're saying you're not happy where you are. You're not happy with what you're doing. Try to make peace with change and see where that takes you. The first thing you have to do is see if you can let go of the trappings of success, which are wonderful. They're wonderful to have. Don't get me wrong. But see if you can let go of the trappings of success and allow yourself to be humble and new at something all over again. Whether it means, having to start entry level or close to it and climb the ladder all over again. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. You can reach the same level of success and higher, but it will take time. It will take effort. Your heart has to be in it. But more than anything for you, you have to be willing to let go of what you have, which means, if you decide you're going to leave your job and pursue a new career, you can't keep thinking back going, oh, man, I was making so much money then. Where would I be now if I had stayed with them, if I had stayed in that career? If you can't cut that energy, it will continue to pull back. It will continue to tug at you, and it will continue to pull you back, and you will struggle. So you have to want this. Whatever new direction either you're considering, maybe you don't even know what new direction it is, but something feels very, what is the right word? It's like they're giving me that it's almost like you're at the top of your game where you are for you. And you can stay where you are. I don't feel it's going to get a lot better, but you could continue where you are, but the discomfort will continue to scratch at you like sandpaper. Spirit is encouraging you to find the change that's right for you. That may be a new career and starting over. It may be a new job. That may not come, with all the physical rewards, that material rewards that you currently have. But you just never know what's around the corner. It may mean that you have to find a new love for what you do and where you are. But absolutely something needs to change here. Something needs to change. Only you can decide what that looks like. But the best way to make that change work for you is through a little bit of release here. Releasing the past, releasing all the what ifs once you move forward. Make peace with the change and move on in whatever way makes sense for you. Okay, group 3, I hope that helps. I hope that, I know it doesn't directly answer your question, but hopefully it gives you the food for thought you need to make up your own mind. Thank you so much for being here. If the reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps me. It helps me know that our energies are connecting, that these readings are worthwhile for you. And I've also found that it helps readings resonate for you more in the future as well. So hopefully that brings you some benefit additionally. So thank you so much for being here. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye.